What's going on, everybody? I got another movie review for you today, but before we get into that, first of all, I want to let you know that if this is your first time coming to the channel, a big thank you to you. Now, with M. Night Shyamalan's conclusion to his very unconventional superhero trilogy, Glass, coming out later this week, I figured we should start at the beginning. Let's start at the genesis and talk about Unbreakable. But before I get into a review of Unbreakable, before I give you my thoughts, I want to know what your thoughts are. Have you seen Unbreakable? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Are you indifferent because you haven't seen it even though you want to? And what is your favorite superhero movie of all time? Whatever your thoughts are, put it down in the comment section below and I'll be sure to answer as many as you as I can get to. Now, the interesting thing about Unbreakable is it came out during a time period when superhero films, let's face it, they were the pits, they weren't big. I mean, we had the first X-Men film that came out, right? We had the first X-Men film, and that was pretty much it. And then M. Night Shyamalan, the director of The Sixth Sense, came out with this movie, and granted, this film did bomb because critics didn't really understand it, but audience members loved it. Specifically, big nerds, big comic book fans loved it. They looked at it and they're like, this is absolutely a superhero movie, and I can't wait to get into it, and I can't wait to see where he's going to go next with this. Now, Unbreakable is the story of David Dunn. David Dunn is a man who has never been sick. He's never been injured. He went on a train on a work and business trip. The train derailed and crashed, and he's the only one who survived. He didn't even sustain any internal bleeding or any injuries. And he catches the sight of Elijah Price, who is a man who has osteogenesis imperfecta, which is a disease where your bones are very brittle. But Elijah Price goes up to David Dunn and tells him that he believes he is a superhero because if Elijah Price is on one end of the spectrum, then David Dunn must be on the other. And he believes that comic books and superheroes are just an exaggeration of the truth. You remember in the scene in Logan where Logan picked up the comics that X-23 was carrying around, and he said that the comic books, all the events that happened inside of those were just an exaggeration of the truth and they could never happen that way. It is the exact same thing in here, and I have a feeling that Logan may have taken that little piece of inspiration right directly off of Unbreakable. But M. Night Shyamalan, the guy's a genius, and this film was definitely ahead of his time. Now, to tell you the truth, when it comes to Unbreakable, I'm very recent when it comes to watching this. I'm not somebody who saw it back in 2000. I only saw it within the past couple of years, and I was remarkably surprised. I think this may be my all-time favorite M. Night Shyamalan film. Now, I can go on and on about how much I love this movie, but it really impresses me just how revolutionary that this film is, how much that M. Night Shyamalan saw into the future of where cinema was going to go. And I'm so excited to see where he finished this off with Glass. Now, right off the bat, the performances across the board are great. I love Robin Wright in this movie. I love Samuel L. Jackson in this movie. But the thing that surprised me the most has got to be Bruce Willis, because I love Bruce Willis as an actor, but I fully realize that within the past 10 years, his career has just gone downhill. It seems like every performance he goes into, he's phoning it in for a paycheck. It feels like he's doing kind of the Johnny Depp thing, where he's going in, phoning in a performance just to get a paycheck so he can become the richest actor on earth. But the fact is, when it comes to David Dunn as a character, this is one of my all-time favorite performances that he's given. Because David Dunn is a very soft-spoken, very humble man who doesn't really think that much of himself. He's got marriage problems with Robin Wright. His life is kind of going down the tube until he finally gets a little spark of hope from this Elijah Price character telling him that he could be more than what he think he is. And if you haven't seen Unbreakable, I'm not going to tell you where this goes along, but I will say that if you haven't seen Unbreakable, very much like myself, I highly recommend that you check it out. And I think the thing that impressed me the most with Unbreakable is just how hopeful the movie is. The movie does have some dark overtones for sure, but the movie also gives a message out there that, you know, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you think you've got a lot of flaws and a lot of things in your way, you can achieve whatever you want to, but you've got to work hard for it. You may have a certain talent or a certain skill that may help you achieve that, but you need to work on finding that out. What is that secret skill? What are you looking towards? What are you the best at? What are you willing to work to achieve? That is the brilliance of this movie, because it's unconventional, yeah, and it's a superhero and comic book movie, yes, but the fact of the matter is, it's also a deep character study of a man finding out his best and truest potential. Unbreakable is just one of those movies. It's timeless, it's unforgettable. Like I said, I mean, the movie came out almost 20 years ago. I recently watched it within the past couple of years, and this film still holds up unbelievably well, especially with the swell of superhero, comic book, and graphic novel-based films that have come out within the past 10 years. Unbreakable is a groundbreaking film that changed the way the filmmaking industry is done over the past years, and Unbreakable absolutely is suit-worthy. Alright everybody, once again, thank you so much for showing up, and just a reminder, I want to get your thoughts. Did you like Unbreakable? Did you hate it? Are you indifferent because you haven't seen it? Whatever your thoughts are, put them down below. And if this is your first time visiting my channel, first of all, thank you very much. And if you love film and regard yourself as a cinephile, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel so you will be able to know when more reviews are up, when more content is up, so we can have a great conversation about the medium that we love so much. And guys, if you want more content from me, you can find my latest video right up here. And if you want to see the sweet podcast that me and Zach Pope do, where we discuss movies, video games, and television shows, and everything that we love, you can click right up here. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right there and subscribe and become part of the fray of nerds who love cinema. You all have a fantastic day.